Alright, and we're live. So I'm just going to switch to the Discord. And alright, so in today's stream, we're going to be continuing with our implementation of Battleship. Hopefully today will be more focused on doing maybe some DOM stuff, or I don't know. So we shall see. I'll get the timer going. We had a bug from last time, but I honestly can't remember what the issue was. I think it was an issue with the testing. Oh wait, I need to tests. Yo, Jay, immediately joined. Like in like a minute after. I think that's like a record. Or not run dev, run tests. Game board. Test.js. Or not JS, TS. What's the problem here? You were already on YouTube? Nice. No tests found. Really? Somehow I doubt that. Oh, because I didn't, no. The fuck? What's going on here? Dot test. No issues found. No tests found. Game board. Yeah. Let's just do the shit. See if that works. Weird. Or do I not put the prefix? Oh, that's why. Okay. I don't put the file current directory prefix. That was the issue. I'll learn this all eventually. Okay, so we were working on the rotations. That's what it was. It was the ship rotations. And we had if I remember correctly, we had the state of the rotation stored in the game board. Because of the way that I've implemented this. So I need to maybe capture what the game, what the board looks like or something. Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday, Abdu. I just took the day off. I'm fine. It's healthy to take a day off now and again, right? Okay, let me see here. Rotate ship. It's gonna take me a minute to get my bearings back, because I haven't looked at this code in like 48 hours. Okay, so I think I want to print out the board state just to see what's happening. So let's just do that. Yeah, no, nothing happened. It was just Sunday, you know? Okay, so the board is... Let's print it before and after we rotate it. This might be like too much. Yeah, okay, so as I thought, the rotation isn't actually doing anything, because I think these are the columns. So this is the whole column. So like, let's open our Battleship. Oh wait, no, not the rules. This guy. So we can have a little visualization. So what we currently have is these subarrays are the columns. So the state of our array is not changing. It's the same before and after the rotation. But we want it to look like this, which would be 3 ones in this first column. Because the rows are the outer. So this is like row, this column 1, this column 2, I think. It's kind of confusing the way it's put, but okay. So obviously the rotation's not working, which is fine. So we'll go into where that's happening. So okay, we iterate through the ships, and then we check whether the ship to be rotated is at that X and Y X and Y, and then we rotate it. Which all this rotate function does is it just changes the orientation variable. Doesn't actually do anything. And then we need to check whether it's a valid position after rotating it. But I wonder if we do this differently. So instead of having like a check rotation value, we could actually pass in like a proposed rotation direction or orientation. I think that's what we want to do, maybe. I'm doing well, Dev. How are you? Yeah, I think that's what we do. But then I need to change this logic as well. Orientation as a ship orientation is equal to ship orientation dot horizontal by default. Actually, no, we don't want it to be that. We want it to also maybe be undefined. Because if it's undefined, then we need to change how the x offset and the y offset are calculated. So I think I need some logic up here for that. You're good, just tired? Yeah, I feel you. I feel a little refreshed though after taking yesterday off, which was good. I would implore you to take a day off now and again, just to kind of recharge. So I think we'll do this. We'll do if orientation. Actually, maybe I just do it like this. I'll get rid of this guy. So I'll do if orientation, else This logic is going to get kind of messy. Actually, I want to keep this up here. That's fine. So if we give if we are checking an orientation, then we also need to do a let check orientation. Say check orientation equals orientation. Actually, I can do this otherwise. Otherwise, ship dot orientation. That's not confusing. So basically what I'm doing is I'm checking whether we give this valid ship position method an orientation to check. And if we do, if it's not undefined, then we set it to that. Otherwise, we set it to the ship's orientation. And then we do, we just remove this ship dot orientation. That's kind of a messy, or sorry, check orientation. Right? Okay, so that's kind of messy, but it should work. So now essentially we refactored this to, before we actually rotate the ship, we can check a ship's rotated position first. So we can actually do ship and then, so actually we'll make another constant. Const, flipped equals ship dot orientation equals ship the orientation dot horizontal. There's probably a better way of doing this, but just like this. And then we'll pass flipped into here. And then we rotate the ship. Ship dot rotate. Otherwise, we return false. We don't do any of this rotate back business. Right? Okay, so this could be undefined, and then we'll set it to equal undefined maybe by default. Sure. That's fine. So we can pass 1 or 2 arguments into this valid ship position. So if you only pass 1 argument, I should probably write this down. If we only pass 1 argument into the ship position checker, it assumes the orientation of the ship that you're passing in. Otherwise, you can explicitly overwrite that by passing in an orientation value. Optional. Pass in second argument to check ship with specific orientation. Otherwise, inherit. Or otherwise, check ship at its current orientation. Something like this, just to make it clear. Optional pass in second argument. Okay. So I'm still not confident this is going to work. But we did a bit of refactoring, which should clean up the implementation slightly, I think. Yeah. Okay, so nothing happened. So it's obviously still... valid ship position. Something in this check is failing here. Maybe I don't know. Okay, let's see if it's even making it in here. There's probably a better way of doing this. Also, like, get rid of all these other tests just for now. I know commenting them out's bad practice, but it's just temporary. Just to keep this not cluttered. Okay, so it's that check passed. So we know that's true. And then I'll print the X off adjacent and the Y off adjacent. I wonder if it's because the bounds of the X off adjacent are outside of, but we explicitly handled that by doing this check here. So actually I'll do that. I'll print and then this dot board maybe. Sure. Okay. So it should be printing. Yeah. So 0, 1, so that's right. One, 0. Oh, I see what's happening. Because, okay, so this is what's happening. So assume we're checking for the ship in this position, right? Because of the way I've set this up, we have to make sure that there's always a 1 square buffer all the way around the ship, right? Because of our rules, okay? However, if we're checking a ship here in this vertical orientation, but the game board is still of the state that it's in its horizontal orientation, then the check here at 2, 1, or sorry, 1, 0, 1 on the X and 0 on the Y, is gonna fail because the game board still thinks that the state of the game board is still with the ship horizontal. So then this checking that there is a 1 block buffer around the vertical ship is going to fail, right? So that's a problem. So I think we need a way to, when we're checking for whether a ship fits or not, we need to ignore we need to ignore the previous state of the boards. Like, we need to ignore it itself, essentially. Like, we need to ignore the ship here. It doesn't matter if there's any other ships. Obviously, we want to make sure that the rotation doesn't conflict with any other ships. We need it to ignore itself. So we need some sort of mechanism for that. And then once we do that, can I remove the chords for that ship on the board? That's a good point. I probably can. That's a good... Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah. But no, see, this is good stuff. Like, we're getting, like, deep debugging here. Okay, so... Yeah, we need to ignore itself. So what we need to do is we need to have... So in this update board, we need to have some way that when we're checking the valid ship position, we somehow ignore... Yeah, we ignore that ship. But we need to maybe... Before we check it, we, like, write that ship's positions to 0 temporarily. So I'm just thinking about how to do that. cleanly without having another for loop inside of here, because that would just be messy. Because obviously we do the update board here. I mean, I could just have a for loop in here. Or I could check whether... Because the other thing... Okay, so this is... There is a place ship method. At least in the ship class. Or no, maybe there isn't. I thought there was. I think it's in the game board. Create ship. That's what it is. So you create a new ship at a certain X and Y coordinate. And then the ship holds its own X and Y and its orientation. You've been seeing me on your For You page for some time now. It's great to see there are people still actually trying to learn. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just trying to, like, not let the AI hype get in the way of my motivation. Because I ultimately think that there's going to be a shit ton of cleanup from all the AI slop that a lot of companies are pushing. Again, I don't really have an expert opinion, but I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about AI. I don't think it's going away, but I just, you know, the current hype cycle has got to die at some point. So there's still going to be demand for, like, people that actually know what the fuck they're doing. Sorry, pardon my language. Am I working as a dev, or do you do it on your time? I do this after my 9 to 5. I work in IT 9 to 5, so this is after hours. I do 2.5 hours after work. But yeah. Okay, so let's think about this. An array of tuples? What do you mean an array of tuples? Like the game board state or the ship? The ship is not, the ship actually doesn't store itself. It just stores its length, its orientation, and its X and Y position, which the origin is either the leftmost or the topmost square, because it's only one-dimensional. So the ship actually doesn't store its own, like, mini array. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, so this is the thing. Yeah, because the game board state, the game board is just an array. It's just a 2D array, right? It's just a grid, a matrix. But the problem that I'm seeing here is that we have a state for a ship, whether it's alive, which is 1. However, you can't tell what ship it is. You only know that it's a ship. So I'm thinking that on the game board, instead of just putting a 1 at where a ship is alive, we actually, like, have some value in this enum that, like, stores some reference to that specific ship. But then this whole enum thing would collapse, right? The enum wouldn't work anymore. But you know what I mean? Like, I need an object now. What, instead of the enum? So, okay, I see what you mean. So I, like, have an object, and then I store an object at each location, and then the object can either have a ship. Ah, I got you. Okay, I see. The object can either have a ship as its thing it's storing, like, value, or it could have empty, hit, or miss. I see. Okay. All right, so let's implement that. I think that's probably going to be better in the long term, right? So let's think about how that we would do that. So I'll probably still have it as a board state object, right? And then I would need, like, a constructor for that. So let's just comment this out for now. Actually, no, I'm not even going to comment it out. I'll leave it. So I'll say class board state. Should I have this in its own file? Maybe I will. Actually, no, it'll probably complicate shit. I'll just leave it in the same file because it's related to the game board anyway. You'd also store where the ship was hit. Yeah. I know. See, you guys, you think this is easy. Like, everyone, like, not you, Jay, specifically, but people think, like, oh, it's just a Battleship app. You know, it's got to be easy. No, like, every app, and even if you go back in the VODs and watch, like, the to-do list stuff, like, we were, like, I'm not going to claim we were struggling or anything, but it was, like, it was pretty involved. If, like, we want to do this right, you know. It's not trivial. So let's think about how we want to store... Yeah, because we can store whether, so what we can do is we can have, let's just call it like board, actually I'll do this as like a multi-line comment, just so we can like plan it out. So we'll say like board state, and then it should have a, like occupied or something, or no, what should I call it? Like, I need to have, I don't know. Like a value, or like, or maybe it occupies, which is either a ship, object, or empty. And then it needs a is hit, which can either be true or false or like undefined if it's empty. Something like this, right? Yeah, Warzone. That could be a, I could call that Warzone. But I think occupies is good. So because a square either occupies a ship or it doesn't occupy anything, right? And then it has an is hit, which is either true, false, or undefined. And then that's how we track misses. Or you know what? Because we can also hit a empty square and then it needs to be a miss, right? So we need to actually track that as well. So what we can say, this is confusing. Okay, so let's follow this logic. We actually don't want an undefined. We have is hit or true or false, because the square can be hit even if it's empty. So if is hit is true and occupies is empty, then it's a miss. And if is hit is true and it occupies a ship, then that ship is hit at that square. Yeah, exactly. So this is good. I think this is fine. So I'll just wait for the break to end so that we, because again, discipline on the breaks. And then I'll implement the board state like this. And then I have to do some refactoring in the code, obviously. But I think that's a better way, because then in our valid ship position check, we can ignore this start business, and then we can just make sure that the ship we're checking is in itself, based on board state.occupies. Right? So that's good. That's good. Yeah, because the enum's not going to cut it. And then we could have some sort of constant. Like, we can say constant empty equals -1 or something. And then, so an empty square can be -1. And I hesitate to do 0 because 0 is treated as, like in an if condition, 0 would be treated as false. And I don't necessarily want that behavior. No, it's not hard to implement. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think I lasted a minute before coding again. Yeah, I know. I just wrote that one line. I just wrote the one line. But no, I think that's what people like. That's the skill that I'm learning through doing this, right? Is actually like thinking through problems and coming up with my own implementations. Because it's one thing to follow a tutorial that gives you all the answers. And it's like, oh, obviously this is how you would implement this, right? This makes sense. But it isn't. It's not obvious if you're going into it blind like I am, right? So this is stuff you kind of figure out as you're doing it. I don't know. It's just my 2 cents. Okay. Okay, let's start going. All right. So we'll do class board state. And this is going to cause trouble here. So I'll just remove that. And then we'll say occupies as a... It's a ship or empty. Or, I guess I can't do that, huh? Is it even worth making like a dummy object that's just like an empty ship? And then just having, because like I don't know how I would oh, I could just do this as a type. Empty board empty. I think the board state should be a part of the game board. Well, so it is. So it is. It's stored as... There is a board representation. The board state is like... For clarity, the board state is 1 square on the 10 by 10 grid. So there'd be a board state object for every grid cell. That's kind of how I'm thinking of doing this. And then there's a board in the game board that is a 10 by 10 matrix of board states. Maybe that's a little confusing. Maybe I could rename this to like cell or something. Board cell. Might be a little confusing if I maybe board cell is a better name. Yeah, I'll call it board cell, because I think that's a little clearer. Okay, so occupies is ship or board empty. And then we'll do a constructor. And then so by default we don't want it to be this dot is hit equals false. Oh, and I also want these to be private too. Yeah. And I'll do a getter for is hit. Command F. Yeah, I will when I start replacing stuff, because this I can't just replace easily. Okay, sure. Okay, actually, I'll fine. I'll do your... Is occupied instead of occupies for readability? Okay, hold on. Let's do that. Yeah, because I guess then the only reason why I have it as occupies is because is occupied makes it seem like it would be a Boolean, right? That's the only thing I'm thinking. Because, like, is hit is a Boolean, obviously. But if I did is occupied, then I would think it's a Boolean, but it's not. Right? So... And I'm thinking, what if I did this? Because -1 is, like, kind of a magic number here. So I can do const empty equals -1. And then I'll do this. Empty. Like, is this even possible? Oh, type of. Because I can't have it as a value. I don't know, because I don't want to have to refer to it as -1 here. I could just do an enum with one thing. It's the other thing I could do. I don't know. Occupied by? Yes, that's better. That's better. Oh wait, sorry. I need to put this in the other field. Okay. That's better. Okay. Or undefined. Yeah, I could also have it as undefined. Yeah, you know what? Screw that. We'll just put it as undefined. Whoops. Okay. The only problem with this is, actually, we'll just road up push. Oh, and then I need a constructor. Board cell. New board cell. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so then let's board state. Okay, so there's many references to it here. So I actually need to get this as a variable or something. Oh no, I don't actually. So let's deal with this condition first. In the constructor, you can use instead of ship. Oh, I can, probably. I probably can. This is probably better. Yeah, that's probably better practice. Okay. I appreciate that. Okay. I keep forgetting about this question mark syntax. And then we also need a setter for is hit. We'll just do something like this. Although, yeah. All right, we'll just keep it. Okay, so we want to do this dot board dot occupied by. Although, wait, did I change the? Is this a new game board? New board cell. And then new ship. Ship. Orientation is. Let's do this as well, and it'll be clear. And I don't need this start nonsense anymore. So this is a, I don't want occupies. Oh. Occupied by. That's it. Okay. If this dot board occupied by and this dot board occupied by is not equal to the ship, the current ship. Check that if, okay, so we'll say if board is occupied and not by the ship currently being validated, or something like this. And I'll just put this onto a new line so that we can see it. Okay. And I'll probably put this down here too. Okay, so that looks good to me. And then for the update board, do we want to reset and then fill everything in? I don't know, I feel like that's a bad idea. Yo, Trey, how's it going? I'm just thinking about how best to do this, because I could just but then I'm like deleting and creating a bunch of objects. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I could just set all of the board positions to be occupied by nothing, and then repoint to what they're occupied based on this. That without actually deleting the object, because that'd be a little silly. Also gonna, well, actually, I'll just include it in the export down here. That'll be a little silly. So what we'll do is we'll just iterate through the other axis here as well. And I would be doing this like Control F, but it's easier to think about doing it this way. Dot occupied by is undefined. I think. Oh, because I don't have a setter. I need a setter. Oops. Set occupied by I don't know what they call them. And then I'll say this dot occupied by equals occupy. Yeah. Okay, but I have it as a setter now, so I don't know what the problem is. Because this could be undefined? Yeah, okay. I see. Oh, no worries, Jay. Did I take any courses for these? If so, can you No, I didn't take any courses, Trey. I kind of just, well, other than the Odin Project. So I've worked through most of the Odin Project JavaScript course, which is what I'm on. And I'm working on the final project, which is this Battleship app. So that's essentially what we're building. And it's going to look something like this, where you can drag and drop your ships onto the 10 by 10 grid. And then you can like play Battleship, like the board game Battleship. Although it's not going to be networked. We're not going to network it. That's kind of what I'm building now. But as far as how I got here, you can check out the previous VODs, but I've literally just been following the Odin Project and looking at the documentation for TypeScript and doing some Googling and stuff. But other than like test suites, I have not used any AI at all or anything like that. So anyway, let's see how we can replace this. Okay, so then we need to obviously set it to occupied by equals ship, right? Although this is probably gonna, yeah, it's gonna yell at me if I don't have this. Okay, if this, how do I deal with, okay, so there's, if this dot occupied by and this dot board I j dot is hit and then return false. Or wait. Hold on. Ah. Okay. I need a not this dot board. Just hit. Check if there's an occupied. There's a cell occupied by a ship that hasn't been hit. Okay. Should probably just put that comment here. All right. So if this dot is hit, and then return false, or this board x y dot occupied by, or if it's unoccupied. Early return if already hit or unoccupied. Struggling with JS? What specifically, Trey? But yeah, no, I go through all of this stuff in the previous VODs. So there's that information there. And also, if you're in the Discord, you can ask questions. Like, we've got a learning and help channel where you can, like, if you're having trouble with JavaScript, you can just, like, go in there and ask questions. What am I building? It's at the, I'm building a Battleship app, but if you want, generally speaking, if you want to know what I'm building, you can check the top of the YouTube description. There should be a couple sentences on any given stream. I update that every stream to reflect what I'm building. And then, okay, so this is actually, I want to actually not have this here. Actually, I don't even need this because it's a different property. So I can just do this. Dot is hit is true. Right? And then what are we doing with this? Oh, we're saying, okay. we're actually hitting the ship itself. Yes, okay. Okay, then that should be it. That should be all of it refactored. Now, this isn't gonna, this printing shit is not gonna work anymore. So we'll get rid of that. Although, actually, no, I can keep it, because then I can see roughly where things are. I'll do .board. Nah, I'll just leave it out. It's 4 a.m. in India, watching a random stream, think you'll get to know at least something new. Yeah, honestly, Rami, like, that's why I started streaming. And it's not even like, if someone gets value out of these streams, then great. But I'm also just doing this for myself, right? Like, you don't have, like, this is how I think of it, is you don't have anything to lose by streaming. Like, you don't owe anybody anything, really. You can just start streaming, even if no one watches you. Like, for the first 2 weeks I did this, and I didn't get, like, a single viewer. I was at 0 views for 2 weeks. And then randomly I started to grow a little bit. But before that, like, I was doing this purely just to hold myself accountable, right? Now there's probably a better way of handling this. Like, I could probably, now that I think about this, I could refactor this into a separate function, which I actually might do. And then I'll do that as a private validates. Check valid order. I don't know what I would call this, because it checks the valid buffer. And then I'll take in this. As a coordinates, and then the ship itself too. And then I'll copy this guy in here. Do x plus I, y plus j. Then I'll do return true, or I'll return valid buffer around ship, and then Otherwise, at the bottom of this, actually, I probably don't. Ships and bounds. Just finish this last bit here. So this checks for one. So let's keep this consistent. You're definitely gonna start streaming? Yeah, you should go for it. Let me know your channel. I'll give you a subscription, or I'll subscribe to you. Unless you're starting to stream on the channel that you're commenting with, in which case I'll subscribe after this stream, because I wanna see how you get on with it. But no, it's good. Again, like, whether or not people get value out of these streams, it's whatever. But I get value out of them, which is what matters the most, right? Okay, so I just need to figure out how, because if it is a valid buffer, then I want to if ship x plus x off it is okay, so it's in bounds, and then we can ship.x oh, is this gonna oh, then return false. I should be taking a break right now, but I'm not. Mostly stream about learning DSA. Nice. What's that app you're using for timer? Here, I'll look at it for you. Alright, I think I'm just gonna hit the washroom, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. So, go back to there. Alrighty. Piece of gum. I don't know why that alarm was delayed. Very peculiar. Alright. We want to rename this like is. And then otherwise we return true down here. Alright. I think we're ready to run the test again. I don't know. Oh, because this is, the test itself is wrong now. Of course. So I need to update the test. So I need to get the ship somehow. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to modify all these tests, I think. Whoops. Actually, I'll do that after. It's the other thing is, like, now that I've changed the implementation, all the tests are not right. Although the ship is rotations. Okay, so I think the rotation worked fine. I just need to dot occupied, and then I need to get the ships. Yes, okay. Dot to equal test board dot ships 0. So this is what I need. I think it was 0, yeah, 0, 1, 0, 2. Oops. Now I need to update all these test suites, or all these tests. It's gonna be a real pain in the ass. Row I is new board set. Maybe a lot of these. Only problem is I'd have to use regexes to do all the replacement here. Let's do this. Oh, but is hit. Okay. Dot occupied by. Oh, Jesus. There's no easier way to do this, I feel like. And then instead of board states.empty, we want to make it undefined, I think. And then for alive, it might be trickier. Okay, actually. For this, that's fine there. It's equal true. Actually, you know what? We can do this. True. This. False. Good. Needs an identifier of the ship. Well, so we have an identifier because the game board stores an array of the ships it contains as well, Jay. So again, this is probably not an optimal way of doing this, because I wonder if there's probably a better way of doing this. So we can actually say, instead of referencing the internal ships array, we could probably modify the ship to get a getter for itself, or maybe like return from the constructor. Like, can I do return this? And then that gives a reference. And then what I can do, then when I'm creating the ships here, I can say like constant ship1 equals this, right? Oh, sorry. You guys are having a storm too? We had a bad storm today. Yeah, let me know if my stream's screwing up too. But this should, I wonder if this works. So basically what I'm doing, Jay, is I'm returning a reference to the ship after I make it. And then assigning it, and then I can check, instead of testboard.ships, I can just check ship1 here. I think this works. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm referencing the ship. I'm returning this, which should be a reference to it. I don't know if this is a common pattern, like returning this after the constructor. That might not be like a good way of doing it. I don't know. I have no idea. But building a Battleship app. You can check the top of the description though for more information. Might be redundant. Yeah, fair. Yeah, does a constructor in TypeScript automatically return? Does a constructor in TypeScript I don't know. Oh, constructors can't have return type annotations. The class instance type is always what's returned. Yeah, I figured. So does that mean always returns the instance? Maybe. Yeah, I might need it. I might not need it. You're right. You right. Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, let's go back to this guy. Okay, so let's do... It's gonna take me a minute to refactor all these tests, but actually, wait, I don't think I need... Oh, no, I don't need it here. Okay, so then ship one there. And then ship one dot hits does not exist on type never. What? What if I type annotate this? Oh, because the create... Ah, okay. This is different. Because I'm creating it through the test board interface. Or, sorry, not the test board. The game board interface. And then I'll do return new ship. That's what I need to do. Sorry, I was a little lost in the sauce here. Okay. And then this returns a ship. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now we're in business. I was confused because the ship, I was creating it through the test board interface. Or the board interface. The sauce? What do you mean by the sauce? Like, I'm sorry. Like the depth of the code, maybe. It's probably my fault. Oh, I was lost in the sauce. See, I don't even remember what I said like 15 seconds before. That's what happens when you're thinking about 3 things at once. But yeah, true. Very true. I was lost in the sauce. I don't think I actually need references here. Okay, then I need these ones. It's not my fault. I'm glad you think so. And I'll call this ship 2. No adjacent left. Actually, I don't think I need... I think I just need ship 1. Here. Whoops. Okay, so you know what I'll do? I'll control F. And then I'll just rename it to ship 1. And then ship 1 in front of this. Should be fine. Okay, there we go. And we still have 2 errors. Oh, is it from this? Let's remove it then. Okay. Now I just want to test the ship. Actually, no. We'll test the whole suite. Okay, so we refactored the tests now to match the new implementation. Which, again, is not very TDD of me, but I also don't care. Okay, so we still failed. But we didn't fail the rotation, which is good. So our rotation was valid. So we failed another test. Miss attack on size 2 ship. So I have a suspicion that it's the test's fault. So miss attack on size 2 ship here. Oh, we would actually want this to be true. Because of the way we implemented this. Because even if a board space is empty, its is hit can still be true. So I think that's good. I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. That's what we want. Cool. Now, I just want a way to visually confirm that the rotation was success. Although I would assume it is, because what I can do here is I can just do this. Oh, and then this would need to be... These would all need to be ship 1. There. Okay. This should still pass. Yeah, good. Okay. So I'm fairly certain the rotation worked fine. We have now passed the threshold. We have passed the threshold. So I should write another few tests for invalid rotations. So what I should do is maybe we do like an initial valid rotation. So let's say we have a ship here. Actually, maybe this won't work. Oh yeah, it will actually. So what we do is we create a 2x1 ship, rotate it, create another ship here, and then check that we can't rotate it back. So that should be our next test. Another ship or something. I don't know how to name this. The bang operators. It will say that object is possibly undefined. So I don't know why the bang operators were just like a workaround. But okay, so let me go back a step here. So testboard.board. We define our board in the constructor. And it's explicit. It's an array of arrays of board cells, right? And then we create a row by, pushing values onto the row. And then we push the row onto the board. So we define the board here, and when you don't give the constructor anything, it initializes is hit to false, and then this dot occupied by is undefined, right? So yeah. Did I ever map or fill the rows? I pushed, like, you mean initially? Because initially I push. It's not saying that it is accessing an empty array. It just says it's possibly empty. So when I initialize the board for the game board object, I'm defining a row for each row, right? Like we're going top to bottom here, and then at least I think it's a row. And actually, yeah, it's a row. And then, you know, we're pushing new board cells onto that row and then pushing the row onto the board. I don't know. Although this might actually be a column, depending on... I think it's a row, though. Although it might be a column. I'm not 100% sure. It depends how we draw it, I guess. Although it actually is a column. You know why? Because if this is the y coordinate, then this would actually be a column because we're going through the y coordinate. So this is actually a column. That's my bad. Yeah, it is a column. Yeah, I thought about it because this is the x and then this is the y. So it's actually iterating this way. It doesn't matter. It does the same thing. It's just flipped. Yeah. Yeah, it is a column. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm unsure as to why. I think it's because the compiler can't verify whether these indices are in range or not. At least statically, if that makes sense. Like pre-running the code, I don't think the compiler knows whether 0, 0 is a valid bound. Right? Like that's what I'm confused about. Because like, even though I set it here, I wonder if I could put in a bound. Like if I put in board size here, and then I did it here as well. I wonder whether that would fix the problem. No, see, it still doesn't fix it. Oh, yeah, actually, I forgot to save it. Yeah, okay, so that doesn't fix it. Because I think I put in the bound here. So then at least this is an array of an arrays that's 10 long or something. I don't know. Or can I even do it like this? No, that doesn't work. Yeah, sure. It's a 2D array of board cells, as defined up here. So, I don't know. This is like, then board cell. It just says class board cell. I'm genuinely not sure. It's the definition of board cell. So you mean this? Do I need to have an interface for the board cell? Because I could do that. You'd add an interface? Okay, you know what I'm going to do in that case then? Is I'm going to actually... if I'm adding an interface, I kind of want to put this in its own file. Just so that it's clear. So that this game board isn't cluttered. So I'm going to make a new file. Oh wait, no. Sorry. Yeah, because I'd like to not have those bang operators everywhere. Because it feels like kind of a cheeky workaround, right? I don't know why this is grayed out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll leave that here. Okay, so new file, board cell dot TypeScript. Oops. Export Export interface, board cell interface. And then we do, I think it's just get occupied by. And then it's ship or undefined. Add missing import. And then get is hit is boolean. Oh wait, sorry. No, that's right. That's right. Board cell will not be undefined based on my logic. Yep, okay, I see. I see. Void. What is the problem here? Set accessor cannot have a return type annotation. Yeah, okay, fine. Set is hit. And then implements board cell interface. Sorry, I wasn't fully following what you were saying, Jay. No, I don't know. Okay, so now we can import this guy. Import board cell from here. Okay. It's right? Okay, cool. But we're still getting the error here. Or would it need to be the interface? No. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm gonna like, I don't know. I'm just gonna change this. Oh, it's because of this too. And then I need to import board cell. Board cell interface wasn't imported just now. Yeah, so I imported it into the tests. Right? Oh. Is that what I need to do? Okay, now that screws this up. Wait, so can I import it as a type and as itself? Like, can I do this? No. Or do I import it as a type up here? Oh. No. Oh. Wait, then where am I using type of? Sorry. Because this is fine. The game board is fine. It's the tests that are the issue. I don't know. The board is accessing a cell instead of the whole board. Oh. Oh, so I put type of here? Oh, wait, no. No. When you say board is accessing a cell, but it should be a two dimensional array. I have a 4D array. Really? So could I leave this out then? Like if I get rid of this. No. Yeah, it expects a 2D array up here. But it's not being assigned. So I'm wondering if I assign it up here, if that changes anything. What does the board expect? It's a, well, the board, it stores a 2D array. I don't know if that's what you mean by expect. Like the board property expects a 2D array. Yeah, with the assignment up here, yeah, that's probably better. Still doesn't fix our issue here. Because this should be fine. I don't know. I'll leave it for now. Oh wait, one failed. Why? Missing second arguments. Oh, because of this. Yeah. Where's test board first implemented? Well, so I use it as a constructor. So I create a test board and I use the game board instructor, or constructor, sorry. You see it? Yeah. And then I'm accessing the property of test board. Yeah. But the constructor should initialize the board property, no? Or the attribute? Or field, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I did initialize a new variable. I actually initialized a new variable in every test. Maybe that's bad, but I did anyway. Well, because you'd assume that when, like, to go to this test here, for example, you'd assume when you initialize a new game board, this test board has a property of board that then in the constructor gets populated. So that's why I'm confused, right? I just don't know where the disagreement is happening. Like, I wonder only, what if I did this? Put this up here, and then I defined, what if I explicitly define the size here? I don't know. Can we console after the game board and ship for the failing test? There is no failing test anymore. All the tests are passing. It only fails if I get rid of the bang operators, right? Actually, I don't even think it won't. I think this might still run. It just, I don't know. Without the bangs? Yeah, sure. I'll remove them. I'll remove them just for this test. Just so we know. I'm not sure whether this will run or not. Okay, so it still runs. It still runs. So this is like a TypeScript compiler warning or error, but it's not. It doesn't actually cause the test to fail because these properties can still be accessed. Yeah, it's a type issue, exactly. I don't know. What I can do is I can console log the testboard.board here above. And what I'll do I'll just comment out all the other tests just for now. I'll uncomment them after. Yeah, so see, here's our array here. This is our board. Oh, I see. Sure. Okay, well, let's do that then. It's type of object, which makes sense. But it's not an array of objects, interestingly. So what if I did just type a test up? Is this just an object as well? It is an object. Oh, you know why it's an object? Because an array is an object. Right? An array itself is also an object. So that's why it's saying just object here. Oh, okay. So I can do that. So I'll do json.stringify. Can I just do it like this? Yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so it's a bunch of objects with the property is hit is false. Ah! Okay, I see. Because there is no occupied property. Notice how there's only is hit. There's no occupied. Or sorry, not occupied. Dot occupied by is not set to undefined. Although, maybe that doesn't matter. It does matter? Okay. Because if I do is hit, let's just do is hit. Yeah, see, but it still errors out for is hit. So it's not the property that's the problem. Oh. Okay, so I'll do that in the board cell. I could do something like this. Like explicitly. And let's see if that changes anything. No. Interesting. Yeah, if it's undefined by default. So maybe undefined is a bad value. Maybe we want to make it like null or something. How's it going? It's almost as if when the array is created, it's stating that the cell is board cell or undefined. I'm creating a Battleship app, or at least trying to. That's what we're working on this stream. This isn't the app I've created. This is just an example. So yeah, when the array is created, stating that the cell is a board cell or defined, we need to explicitly say that the cell is defined. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But is it not being explicitly defined here, Jay? Like, I don't know. But yeah, no, that's what we're doing, Shawhead. I don't know, I'm just confused, because I think this is as explicit as it can get, but maybe not. I don't know. I wonder if it wants like a size or something. There needs to be a default state for each cell, all empty. Like, when you say the default state for each cell, do you mean a default state like in the board cell itself? Because the board cell object is always defined, even if it doesn't have an occupied by property. That's explicitly defined. And I also have some weird, where do I have? I have some console logging here that I don't need anymore. Here as well. Yeah, that already happens. Yeah, it does. So that's why I'm confused. Because it does have a default value. This is the default value. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But I wonder if it's the... Like, if I just do this... So... if I just, like... If I do console.log testboard.board, the testboard.board is defined. But testboard board 0, that's defined. So what about 0, 0? Ah. But the red only goes for the first I'm so confused. I have no idea. Genuinely. I wonder if it's like a... We can try one more thing. And I tried this before. If there's like... If we need to put in an explicit size. Run it for the first one. What do you mean for the first one? Oh, for the first... Like, do this. Like this. For the first row. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we get this. So, because we create the ship at 0, 0, This might actually be... Well, occupied, that won't work because... You don't think the board is acknowledging all the rows or columns? It might not be. That's what I think too. So if I do test board 0, 0. Yeah, so we get this, which is right. Yeah, it was. It was. See, so we had one that was defined. This is actually the column. This is the first column. Right? This is the first column. So it's column, then row. Because it's X, we iterate through the X first and then the Y. So it's iterating through, does every Y position. So it does every row within a column, and then it goes to the next column. Next column, next column. So we do test board. This is the first column. Test board dot board 0 is just the first column, which is this, which makes sense. That's what we would expect. So I just, because it's defined, I'm just confused why it doesn't think it is. And I wonder if it's because when we define the board, we don't explicitly say like how big the array is or whatever, right? You know what I mean? After the first index, try adding board cell. Wait, what do you mean by after the first index? Like here? Like, what do you mean by that? Because it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yes? I don't feel like this makes sense. Because it's not a number. I'm confused what you mean exactly. Or wait, you don't mean in the console log, you mean here. Maybe. Because I wonder whether this has to do with the fact that it doesn't know how big this array is supposed to be, right? Because the bounds are unclear. I don't know if that's what it is, but like I could do this dot board size, and then this dot board size. The type when stringifying it doesn't normally state the type. Oh, you mean stringify this? Like this. Ah. The board state as an array item in the console is what's confusing. Okay. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh. A bunch of null values. No, no, no. Actually, let's get rid of these. I don't know what I was doing with that. Let's try this again. Okay, it worked. Occupied by, and then there's the ship. I think when I was actually adding stuff here, I think it was actually appending shit. It was filling it in with null. I think that's what this was doing. So, you know what we could actually do? You know what we could do is we could set this to be explicit. So we could say this dot board size, and then this dot board size, and then column J. Or no, we don't even need the column anymore, do we? I don't. Well, actually, we'll keep it. We'll say column J equals this, and then we'll say this dot board I equals column, and then now it knows how big it's supposed to be. Yeah, so that nothing should change. So instead of pushing it on, we assign everything. Doesn't fix this problem, but now it's a little more clear. 0, 0. Yeah. It is confusing, Jay, because the board state, each cell on the board is storing this board cell object, right? Well, you see what I did here? I explicitly sized it, and I wonder... I don't know what this looks like. So if we go here, this should just be all null, I think. Like as it is. This dot board or JSON.stringify. This should be all null. Just I want to see whether this works or not. So it should start as all null, right? Null, null, null. Oh, It's just 10. So I wonder if we can put this board size in here. Now what? Operator cannot be assigned a Boolean number. Yeah, every cell is defined, yeah. That's why I'm confused. Let's see. Define 2D array TypeScripts. Mastering 2D arrays and type safety. Okay. What? The positions array is initialized as left positions number. That's fucking confusing. Why is it like this? Why are both of the numbers in one thing? Index. What? That's so weird. The function is defined as upon. Okay. Oh, because that's I see. An array of TypeScript can dynamically adjust its size to accommodate any number of elements, making it perfect. So yeah, so if it can dynamically size shit, then why do we even need this? Oh boy. Yeah, because obviously, okay, I could define it like this, but that's like dummy. I'm not gonna do that for a 10 by 10 array. Let's see what Reddit has to say. I don't really want to show. Let's just. This initializes once an action. Yeah, I don't know. This is fucking weird. This is weird. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm wondering if we can, because this is just a 10. I'm wondering if we can do like this. New array dot fill new array. I don't know if this actually can I dot fill it? I don't think so. New array length. Board size. Yeah, okay, that's what I wanted. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, Jay. Like, I'm trying to, so the array starts as just being a 10 by 10 of nulls, which is what this is, right? And then I set, so each value is defined, even if it's null, it's still defined, because null is not undefined, right? Good morning, Trust, or good evening. It's 8:28 p.m. here, but good morning to you. Yeah, so I don't know, Jay. I don't know. It's probably pretty early there in India. But no, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. I'm glad we're running into this, because I'm going to learn, because the good news is when I eventually figure out whatever this is, then I'll never, you know, I'll understand why it was happening, right? At least I think I will. I hope, anyway. That's just part of the process. It'll be something so small, yeah. Why didn't you get this channel before? I don't know. Snare, I have no idea. But if you want to follow along, you feel free to subscribe. Join the Discord. Here's a link to the Discord. Let's see. Because this is obviously JavaScript easy. I got a playground. I'm not going to screw at the playground. This is what I was doing before. Let me zoom out of this a little. I wonder if I could do something like this. Instead of this gross looking constructor. I don't know. Send it? Yeah, sure I will. I'll wait until the end of the break. But I'll just keep trying shit. Because, like, I think it's just... TypeScript not understanding that the array has a value at a specific index, right? I don't know. But see, this is kind of similar to what I'm doing. This is where I got this idea from, so I don't know why. You concur? I appreciate that. New array.fill, new array. This is exactly what I'm doing. This guy right here said new array n.fill, new array n.fill. Oh. And then I wonder if I fill it with shit here. New board cell. Now I have nothing in the constructor. I don't need the constructor. Whoops. Well, of course I need the constructor, but I don't need it to have anything in it. Because I think this will initialize everything here. I think this will accomplish what we were doing before. Right? So why don't we just do that? I don't know. I'm going to delete this code if it works. I just want to make sure it works first. Yeah, it works. Yeah, see? Console log. I'm assuming that's good. Oh, wait, actually, no, it doesn't. Because I need to log it here. Let me try that. Ah. See? Now it's defined. I mean, it prints it a little differently because I'm not JSON stringifying it. Yes, it does look better. So now I don't even need the constructor. Well, I mean, I don't even know if I need to have it here. I might just leave it defined, just empty. But anyway, so yeah, okay. So this is nice. Because we see that on the initial definition, we have all of our board cells. And then if we, yeah, exactly. What, to leave the constructor empty? This dot, oh, JSON stringify. Yeah, see, we get the same thing. So I don't know now why the fuck this isn't working. Yeah, sure. Maybe. Blast radius is a little crazy, but I don't know about blast radius, but yeah, so this is, but then it's still not working. The type shit is not working. So I don't understand, because I literally explicitly define it here, right? I don't know. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss with this guy. I don't know. Because it's not even... I could reset the TypeScript server. No, I didn't fix it. Didn't fix it. And then I'll just do my watch command again. Yeah. Oh. Import member board state. Oh, in the player. Where is that? Module gameboard. .js. Oh, because I didn't recompile. I need to actually... I wonder if I kill the server and then I rerun it. No, that doesn't fix anything. But it should kill... There's no... Modules game board has no exported member board state. Import... Oh, that's in the player test script. I don't need this. So the player test is borked, but that's okay. That's not the problem here. I need to refactor these as well. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I think it's just the indexes here. Because if I did something like this, it's all with the test board, you think? Really? But I mean, it has the board defined. I wonder, okay, so we're in our getter. Does it have to do with our getter? Because I wonder, because we're accessing the board through the getter, right? That's an important distinction. We're not accessing the property directly. We're accessing the getter. So I wonder, when you index the board, it fails otherwise. Everything is kosher. Yeah, I wonder if it's the getter's fault. Right? I wonder if it's the getter. That could be. So let's look this up. Let's say getter and setters for private arrays TypeScript. Because I bet it's the getter. Now that I think about it. There's no return type on the getter. So if I did this, if I did... I wonder if we refactor this to like this or something. But then I don't know how. Yeah, see, a get accessor cannot have parameters. But then I could just make this not a direct getter. I could make this just like a method, right? Oh, is that... Okay, so maybe let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try that. Oops. But I think that was the implicit return type already. Like, even if I remove this, Jay, that's the implicit return type. I don't even need to put it explicitly, because TypeScript is smart enough to fill in the type implicitly. Which is what I thought. But it's interesting because if I refactor this, right, how I had it before, so let's copy this. This makes 0 sense. Yeah, I know, right? let's refactor this, okay? Let's say board X is coordinate, and then Y is coordinate. And then we return this dot board XY, so we have our own, like, getter, right? So we're not using the getter that is provided, and then it still errors out. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to just ignore it and move on. It's for the first index. I don't know. I don't know. But then if I watch this though, if I override with the bang operator, then it. Oh wait, no, it works. Actually, I lied. Yeah. So if I override with it, but then it doesn't error out for the second. So I don't know what the hell is going on. Because it does work. It's just TypeScript being hissy with the types. But it works. Getter. I'm just gonna say like array. Get. No, not in an array. For array fields. Array property? Okay. Jesus, these are not helpful. I don't know. Yeah, that works, Joe. That's what we had before, but we're trying to get around not needing the bang operators, because that does work, Joe. Let's push through and get to work and then use AI to understand the issue. Yeah, let's just leave it. We'll table it right now. I'll leave this. Actually, no, I'll delete it. But this is okay. This is fine. So I'll add the bang operators back, because the bang operators were working for us, right? Whoops. Okay. And then we'll uncomment all the rest of these tests. I'll also refactor the player tests while I'm at it here. Board cell. Although, let ship one. And then ship one. This needs to be a const. And I'll do this. And then this is. Oh, dot occupies. Occupied by. Is hit to equal true, and then dot occupied by to be the ship. Board state alive 2-3 const ship 2. So ship 2. The consolation that we did refactor, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Joe. I agree. I don't know. But anyway, so I was refactoring the player test here, because we did refactor the game board quite a bit. Although I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our game board is a lot cleaner than it was before. I think it looks better. Like, this is way better than what we had before. For initializing the board. Okay. So now we can rotate things. So I was going to continue on with writing tests, because I want to test this situation. So let's say we have a ship here. Okay, and then we rotate it, and then we place another ship here. We shouldn't be able to rotate it back. So that's what I'm going to test. Cannot rotate ship back when new one is placed in the way. It's probably a bad description, but we'll go with it. So we'll say const test board equals new board, game board. And then const ship 1 equals test board, create ship. And then test board, rotate ship. Then we'll create a new ship. At 2, 0. So here. And then we shouldn't be able to rotate it back. Let rotate vertical constant. Const rotate horizontal. And then let's see. So we'll say expect rotated to be true. Oh, rotate vertical, sorry. And then we'll say expect rotate horizontal to be false, because it would have failed because it would have run into ship 2. And then we'll do our expect occupies here. And so that's good. We'll also test that the ship 2 is in its current position. Actually, we probably don't need to. Okay, so this is a good. That's another test. So then we shouldn't be able to rotate the ship back. Let's test it. Oh, what the hell? Oh, these are broken. Why? Because we're explicitly assigning all of the board cells to board cell. Right. Although 2 equal undefined. So where is the... Oh, no adjacent. All these failed. Interesting. No adjacent left. Test board 0, 0 dot occupied by dot 2 equal undefined. So how are we doing this here? It's weird that this shit just randomly broke. I want to make these explicit. Oops. Just for consistency. That's fine. Very odd. So it's not undefined. But it's weird because you'd expect this expect to fail. I wonder if the valid ship position is buffer around ship. Oh, it doesn't probably make a difference. So we create a ship at 2-2, which is here. And then we create another ship here. Or no, we create one here, sorry. 2-0. And then we try to create another one at 0-0, and that shouldn't work. But I'm assuming this passed. I think I'll add skip to these. Just to iron out the problem. No adjacent left. Yeah, so I'm assuming this passes. Let's see what the board looks like. I'm gonna skip this one too. Interesting. Oh, occupied by shit. I see. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Everything's occupied? Oh, man. What the hell? So when I create a new ship, I actually want to add something to this. Uh, 210 dot occupied by dot 2 equal undefined. I wonder whether that'll make it fail. I bet it will. Yep. The issue now is that there's multiple values. Yeah, so the problem is now is our board is filled with ships. Right? Which is not good. Now, let's think about what method is probably being called. So create ship. Okay, so we make a new ship, and then we update the board. Now, I bet you it's in the update board. So we refresh everything. Ah, no, that's fine. That's okay. And then we go through all the ships. And we say this subboard, ship x plus x offset dot occupied by equals ship. So this should work. Theoretically. But I wonder if it doesn't like this. Dot occupied by. Right. I have a suspicion it's in the update board function. Unless it isn't. Every ship size is being placed at the same location. But we're giving it an X and a Y when we create it. Right? If we make the ship, we're giving it an X and a Y. And then we're pushing it onto the ship's array, which is fine. If this valid ship position new ship, then it's weird because it was working just fine and then it just didn't work anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what I did specifically. Yo, anime, how's it going? We're about to end the stream off here in a minute, but I'm gonna go for a little bit longer. What was the red text in the console? Just saying that the test failed. So basically, we expected the ship to not be at a certain position, but there was a ship. Like if you look at the output of the console log, you can see that there's a ship defined across the entire grid. So it'd be as if this grid is filled with ship references. Got your exam moved from the 25th to tomorrow? Ooh, good luck. You got this. Yeah, no worries, anime, no worries. I'll take another 10 to 15 here to try and debug this. And then if I can't do it, then I'll come back at it tomorrow. But somehow it's filling the entire board with ships. Let me just do this. For my own sanity. See what the board looks like there. We'll also skip this other test. Wait, what was the one that failed? Cannot create. want to focus on the one. Yes, it's all undefined. This is coming from the refactor. I agree with you. I'm trying to debug it here. Cleared. And then we'll do reset or updated. We'll say updated. And then we get rid of all other console logs here. Oh yeah, it'll be here, wouldn't it? Get rid of this. Aha! Okay. So it's after this updated step. So what you can see here, this might not be super clear, but in the when we update the board, we clear it first, which wipes everything in the board, right? Every occupied by is undefined for everything, right? But then when we update it, occupied by is the ship for every single value, which is confusing. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. I know why. Okay, I know why. Because in here, when we're filling it with a new board cell, it's the same object in every spot. So it's a reference to the same object. So I need these each to be unique. That's why. That's the problem. Because this is all pointing to the one same object. I'm like 99% sure that's what the problem is. I have to specify a ship each time? Like in here, you mean? But I think this is right. So, because I'm filling it with the same object. Yeah. Okay, so you know what we'll do? Why don't we just fill this with like null or something? And then we'll just iterate. We'll just go back through here. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. This will fix it. I'm almost sure of it. And we'll say this dot board ij equals new board cell. So now we're creating a new reference for each one, which I'm so confused about these bang operators, but I'm not going to let that bother me right now. What if I did this? No, that's probably not good. Just do null. Just do null. Just keep it null. IJ. IJ, yeah. I only do IJ because it's just like the convention, but yeah, no, I get that. I could see how that would happen. Alright, so this should fix the problem. I'm almost certain. Oh, it doesn't fix it. Okay, but it kind of does, though. See? Ah, okay. So, but now it's for every row. So it kind of fixed it. But now it looks like each column is a copy. So essentially we're getting like a... I wonder if I did this. That would fix it. I wonder. No. Okay, That's definitely what it. That was what the problem was. I'm almost sure of it. Update board. Okay, we'll get rid of this cleared shit here. I don't need this anymore. The rows and columns need to be set before the ship. It looks like the first row is being set with a ship and then copied. Yeah. You mean in the update board function? Oh, maybe not. It may not have been. Okay, so that's what we wanted. Okay, so I just want to make sure that the constructor was working. Yeah. Okay, so this is... But the update board... We're only setting... Like, so we iterate through this. We're iterating through the ship length. We're not iterating through the row. Right? And then we're getting the offset. So you iterate through the ships and then place them on the board according to their orientation. So we modify the board. This dot board ship X plus X offset, which is either 0 or I. And then ship Y plus Y offset, which is dependent on the orientation. Dot occupied by is the ship. And then we'll do... Yeah, so then we're getting the first three values are being copied. Oh. Oh, I know why. Because this new array is also pointing to the same array. We're running into the same issue that we were with the new... That's why. It's because this constructor is the same array. Okay, so it's all up here. This is the issue. Right? It's because it's the new array shit that we're doing. So I guarantee you, if we just went back to array... New array of array of... Wait, how did I do this? Of board cell. I guarantee you this fixes it. Even though what we had looked nice. I think this will fix it. Watch me be right. No, I was wrong, indeed. Well, now everything fails. Okay. Oh, because nothing's initialized to anything. Oh. Okay. They may need to be appended with additional checks. Yeah. So this defines it up here. And then so what we'll say is, because now this is effectively a 0 by 0 situation. God, who knew this would be so tricky? I'm gonna get this. As soon as I get this, then we're gonna leave. Even if I'm gonna leave, like, this bang operator shit, I don't care about right now. And it might stay that way for the entire project. I could do the implementation that I had before. We could say const column board cell equals new array this board size, and then column.push, because the reason we tried to refactor everything in the first place was because of the bang operator stuff, but that didn't, the refactor didn't seem to change anything. This is basically essentially what we had before. Occupied by is giving errors. Well, if we create a row of board cells, then we should duplicate the board cells into rows. Right, I see kind of what you're talking about. I'm kind of confused why this isn't working, because this is obviously not working. I mean, you could always go back to the previous commit. But... Oh, columns, yeah. Create a new column of board cells, and we should duplicate the board columns into rows. Ten empty items. Ew. Because of this. Because the constructor creates shit. So what if I just did this? Okay, well, at least we got one to pass. Somehow. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm honestly... Yeah, no, I still have the bangs. The bangs, we decided that the bangs were staying like 30 minutes ago. I said F the bangs. Let me just leave this uninitialized. Okay, well, actually, that's not gonna work, is it? Oh. Maybe this. There. Okay, now I finally got it back to where it was. Jesus. Okay, I finally got it back. Now I guarantee you, if I remove all the skips, it'll like mostly work. Oh, wait, not. Skip. I think all but one test will pass. Oh, two. Okay. Not create overlapping ships. Well, where did that fail? The bangs play a part, or what? I want this, actually. expected, cannot create overlapping ships. Expected undefined. And so it created the ship anyway. False, false, false. Is sunk false. Length 3. So see, okay, but that's pointing to the wrong ship at that location. Oh, because I'm pointing... Oh, no, this is a dumb check. I don't need that check. Because the ship, of course there'd be a ship there. Of course there'd be a ship there. Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, no, that's fine. That was just me writing a bad test. There's something going on with those because we were interchanging instances of values. When you say instances and values, what do you mean? I'm gonna go here in a sec. But I think so. This test doesn't work. We just stop here. So it's still undefined. Testboard.rotate ship. Valid ship position. Instance of versus to be or to equal. Oh. So you think it's this thing? So I wonder, okay, so let's refactor this then. So instead of expect.toEqual, why don't we do to be instance of? And then let's remove the bangs. Oops. Nah, it didn't fix it. Oh, for the current failing test. I see. Sorry, I got confused for a sec. No, it's because, I don't think the ship rotated. No, the ship did not rotate back. Oh, no, it did. It must have. Even though it shouldn't have, because we created a ship in its way. Yeah, I'm tired too. Because, okay, I'll just walk through the test that I tried to make here. Just for clarity. So, I'll reset this. So I create a ship here. Okay. Length 3 at 0, 0. Right? And then I rotate it to be vertical like this. And then I create another ship of length 2 at 2, 0 here. And then when I try to rotate the ship back, I shouldn't be allowed to. However, apparently it still works because the rotate horizontal is true. And it only returns true when it's successful. So clearly this is like overlapping with this thing. And I guarantee you that's the way it is. Because if I console log the ship, or the board, sorry, I guarantee you that's what it'll look like. Yeah, so now we have a ship at 4 spots, what does that tell you? Essentially what's happening is it looks like this. I need state for the created, current, and updated states. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll leave that then for tomorrow, and we'll do some more refactoring when I am less, like, come at it with a fresh mind. But I appreciate you helping out, Jay. This was fun. Either way, even if we didn't fully solve it, I think this was a lot of fun. But yeah, again, like learning a lot, right? So this is good. I think I need to change how I update the board and handle state. We did explore a lot, so I don't know. I'm kind of happy regardless. But we could do some refactoring tomorrow. But I think for today, I think that's good. Because it's like I'm almost 3 hours streaming, and I'm kind of, you know, feeling tired. Plus it's Monday, so anyway. That being said, thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll be live tomorrow. It's around 6:30 p.m. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Live notifications are posted there, as well as I'm going to start trying to do weekly schedule posting as well, like for when I expect to stream. So yeah. Yeah, sounds good, Jay. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow. This was fun.